everyone, welcome back. It's Kay from Kay's Creative Home. Today we're going to be putting together a fall wreath and I'm going to be trying to explain where I've been. All right, let's get started. Excuse the mess in the background. I decided I could either clean or I could do a wreath. And I don't have enough energy to do both, so we're going to make a wreath tonight. Dinner's still on the stove. There's still a stand in the back with some flowers on it from my summer yard work, things I was planting outside. Over here I've started taking down some of the spring and summer decor and it's all sitting there on the counter. But I wanted to spend this time with you tonight, so I said I'm going to just ignore it, maybe pretend that it's not there, and I'm going to get started on a wreath so I can get back together with you. Okay, I'm going to angle the camera down so you can see the wreath I'm making, and then we'll just chat. So again, welcome back everyone, and it's so nice to be here with you. So today we're going to do a grapevine wreath for fall, and I'm going to show you some of the things I'm going to mix in. I have this garland, and I love the wispiness of it with all the flyaway flowers and branches. I have some pumpkins and gourds. That and the garland were caught at a 90% off sale at the end of the season last year. And I have these leaves, which I've gotten from a local supplier. I have my grapevine wreath, which I've already clipped and tried to shake out all the little loose debris from that. I have some ribbon. Two of them on the, I guess you're right, are from Dollar Tree, and the other one with the animal print I purchased years ago, and I believe it was from Michael's, again at the end of season sale. And I have some raffia, which is from Dollar Tree. So the first thing we're going to do is clip off these branches, and I'm going to clip them right at the bottom of the stems so that they're as long as possible. I can always make them shorter later. And while I'm doing that, let me tell you what I've been up to. Well, I left you all in the spring, and I apologize for that. But it started with me trying to overdo it. I know I've told you all I've faced some health challenges, and I decided to take a class for creating a website, a class for Etsy, and a class for YouTube all at the same time. And my body said, nope, not going to do this, along with working full time and doing YouTube and helping out family. Just not going to do it. So my body said, I'm going into shutdown. And I had to take some time where when I do that, all I can manage to do is work and sleep. So I had weeks where that was all I was able to do. And then I tried to come back and start finishing because the website still isn't done. My Etsy shop did open, as you all know. And I ended up losing all my momentum on YouTube, which was really sad. But I'm going to get it back. I'm going to be back here with you. It may not be as often for a while. I'm going to try to do weekly, but if I can't, I'm going to just go at the pace that I can. But I won't be disappearing again, hopefully, for that length of time. After I kind of got myself together, I went into doing some outdoor projects in the yard, which some of them still aren't finished. And then I had to do some care for family members, and I'm trying to get some other ventures started. I would love to have a handmade Amazon store, but we'll kind of see where all this goes. So back to the wreath. I laid everything out on the wreath just to kind of see where I want it to go. This is the first time I've made a grapevine wreath. So I had to kind of lay things out and see if I wanted it, how I wanted to set it up. And now I'm just gluing these ends of the darker stems or the darker branches, the darker leaves, and I'm putting them into the grapevine. And I like the darkness in the background. I always say it gives it some depth. And so I'm going to place some in here on the top and toward the center and toward the sides. And next I'm going to add some of the lighter color leaves, the ones that have the brighter yellows and greens and a little bit of a lighter orange. And I'm going to mix those into the darker berry type colored leaves. And again, I'm going to put some on the top of the wreath. I'm going to put some toward the center. That inner circle is what I'm calling the center. And then on the outer edge of the grapevine wreath form. So while I'm doing that, let me ask, what have you all been up to? Leave me a comment and let me know. Again, I apologize for my disappearing act, and I've just been trying to get back to YouTube. And finally, I had someone, I don't even remember them sending me or leaving too many comments before, but someone sent me an email and said, "Where are you? We've missed you." And oh my goodness, it just brought tears to my eyes to know that you all were thinking of me while I was gone. So I was like, I've got to get back. I've got to get back. So I made this video about 2 weeks ago, and as you see, I'm just getting it edited and loaded, but I'm going to have to reorganize my priorities to make sure these videos are back in place, because I really do miss this time of creativity and spending time with you all and helping you all add, decor to your homes. All right, so I'm going to finish up these lighter leaves. I think these are all called maple leaves. And again, they were from a local supplier. And then we're going to look into getting our bow together. Well, before we get the bow together, I decided I wanted to add in some of this garland. So I'm just gonna, go reach through it and clip off the pieces. And this type of garland, you usually have some florals and leaves and branches, and then it'll be a space of just stem. So I'm going back to the end of the stems and clipping there so that I'll have a nice long length to feed into this grapevine wreath. And I'm not going to use a whole lot. I just wanted a little bit. So I'm going to take this garland and get the rest of it out of my way here. It's getting caught on everything. Let's put that to the side. And then I'm going to take the garland and actually fluff it up a little bit, unravel some of the bottom, because I'm trying it here because to see if it would be too much to put it all in one place. And for me it was. So you can see I'm unraveling some of the floral tape they put on each stem, and that way I can separate out these pieces. So I'm going to take this one part and make it 3, and then I can space it into my wreath. So now that I've done that, you'll see that this end is a little too long, and I'm going to actually end up clipping that a bit so I don't have a huge amount to feed into the wreath form. I love this garland. I love all the, I call it wispy, I guess that's the correct word. The little flyaways, they're going to just bring a lot of depth and dimension to this wreath. And as always, I love the traditional colors for fall, so I usually still stick with these oranges and golds and greens, browns. I'm a nature lover, and I just love the colors of nature in the fall. I'm one of those people who will just jump in my car and take rides through the areas where there are a lot of trees. So you'll see that as I'm adding in my garland pieces, again, some are toward the front, some to the side, and the ones in the front are actually coming out toward you, or they will be as you're looking at the wreath when I'm finished. And that gives it a whole lot of dimension. Again, this is another piece, the second piece that I cut off that I'm actually separating again, cutting off that long stem, fluffing it up a little bit, giving it some airiness. And then I'm going to put some hot glue on the bottom there and add it in. And again, like I just try to add it in different areas so to add dimension throughout the wreath. With that part done, we're going to do a quick little cleanup, brushing off some of the pieces that are still coming off of that grapevine wreath. And now we're getting ready to make our bow. To make this bow, I'm going to use the Easy Bow Maker so that you can clearly see what I'm trying to do here. And first I wanted to double check that color, make sure it was blending in well with the wreath florals. So the first thing I'm going to do is leave a 12-inch tail, and I've just measured that against the base of the bow maker. It's got measurements on there. And I'm going to make my first loop. You twist the ribbon so that the wrong side is facing up, and now when I put that next piece down into the bow maker, the right side is facing up, which is what you want. So I'm doing 6-inch loops and a 12-inch tail, and again I'm just measuring that against the bow maker, and then I'm cutting it off. So I chose that darker color again from the beginning to give it some depth. Next I'm going to take some of the raffia that I got from Dollar Tree, and the first thing I'm going to do is figure out how to open it up. It was actually just wrapped kind of like a back and forth. Yeah, see how I'm unfolding it? And I was like, wait a minute, how do you get this stuff apart? So you just stretch it all out, and then I'll separate a few pieces out of this bunch, and I'm going to mix this right into my ribbon. Right into my bow. Again, this is the first time I've worked with a grapevine wreath, and even with this raffia, so I'm trying to decide how I want to add it in here. So first I tried to just fold it so to have some inserted between the layers of the bow, but it wouldn't be showing enough the way I had it. So I have to stretch it out a little bit so I get some longer pieces, and that way it'll be peeking out between the loops of the bow and out near the edges of the tails of the bow. So this raffia does not stay in place like the ribbon does in this bow maker because the gap is a little wide and this raffia is very thin. So I kind of got to hold on to it and move it and place it where I want it. And then once that's in place, we'll go on with the next layer of the bow. And before I add more ribbon, I decided to mix in the cream colored raffia. At least this time I know how to open it up. Yeah, I got it open quickly this time. And I'm going to step back and kind of stretch out a few pieces of it. And it's all tangled together, but just keep pulling on it, it will come apart. I got this raffia, I'm trying to remember when. It might have been in the, don't remember when I got it. Might have gotten it last year during the fall season, and just tucked it away. Hopefully you can find some at Dollar Tree now. If not, they had the they had the skirts, the Hawaiian skirts made of that straw, and that works too if you want to use it in your fall decor. So next I'm going to add in my animal print ribbon, and I believe this is from Michael's. I believe I got this at Michael's. I've had it a few years. And now I decided to bring it out because everybody's going back to some animal prints and some of the traditional fall colors. So thought I'd mix it on in here. And again, I'm just giving it a 12-inch tail and 6-inch loops. And I'm only going to make 2 loops and the tails because I got a few more layers of ribbon I'm going to add in. So cutting the tail here, I've decided I'm going to add both animal prints Even though they're contrasting a little bit, they have the same colors mixed in. So to keep the depth going, I'm going to add another layer of this orange ribbon. I love this color, orange, burnt orange, I guess you would call it. And this ribbon is from Dollar Tree. It's one of their ribbons that I really like. It has some weight to it, and it holds its shape very well, you know, for a dollar ribbon. And then sometimes you have to be careful with that though, because it's $1, but you don't get as much. So sometimes you could end up paying more per yard than if you were to just get a huge roll somewhere else. All right, so now I'm going to add in the, I guess you would call it like a zebra stripe animal print, and this one has the beige and black, beige background, the black stripes. And I don't know if you can see it here. When I do my final pictures, I'll try to show you up close. It actually has some orange glitter in it, so that will help to bring out the orange ribbon I put in will help to bring out that orange glitter that's in this ribbon too. Again, I'm just doing the 12-inch tails and the 6-inch loops, and I'm trying to arrange them as I put it in here so that when I finish they will already be in the position where I want them. And I'm just measuring off my tail again, so I have 12 inches, clipping that. And now I'm going to take one of these tinsel ties, and these are from Dollar Tree too. And I'm going to use that going up underneath all the layers of my bow and holding it tightly so that I can lift the bow off the bow maker. And then I'm going to twist that to the back and twist it together tightly. When I finish the bow, I do like it. I wish I had put a little more raffia in again, maybe at the top, but we can do that another time. So the ribbon, the animal print ribbons are burlap, so they're a little thick, so I had to tie that tinsel around there, well, twist that tinsel around there really good. So now I'm just gonna, you know what we do next, shape that bow. So I'm gonna shape it up here, try to make sure everything makes an appearance. You can see each loop and each tail from the front, and once we get that together we can add it to our wreath. So here's my favorite part where we bring it all together, and it's like that wreath just comes to life when you put that giant bow in the center there. So I'm taking the tinsel ties again, I'm wrapping it around my bow, and I'm going to go through the grapevine wreath form, and in the back I'm going to give it a twist. And I'm sorry I did not lift it up to show that, but simply wired that through the form, and once I got to the back, just twisted it together and made it nice and tight so that the bow wouldn't be shifting from side to side. And here again, now that we have it on, we have to fluff it up a little bit more again. And I'm really liking the way that raffia is peeking out in different places. I think I'm gonna make that a part of a lot of my fall wreaths and even some of my fall decor when I do it in the future. This year I'm not decorating my home for fall. I just do not have the time, or I do not have the energy. I'm still finishing out some of my yard work for the season, and still trying to get some other things done with some other social media sites. I'm trying to bring this business all together so that I have a presence on all of the social media sites. And then that, along with the upcoming holidays, I thought it'd be smart just to not do fall because it takes a lot of time and it's up for such a short period. And I'm going to go right into the holiday season, the Christmas season, that is. So my next videos will be some Christmas wreaths or winter wreaths, and the first one I want to do is a snowman wreath. I don't know if you've seen, Dollar Tree has the new snowman wreath forms, and I have some on my Etsy shop. And I'm also going to have this wreath in my Etsy shop. I'll maybe put 3 or 4 available because I won't have time to make a whole bunch, but if you're interested, I will have a few there. So I've gotten this done, and I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's the first one I've done on a grapevine background, and I really like the way it turned out. So if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with others. And if you're not a family member, go ahead and subscribe, ring the bell so you'll be notified when new videos are released. Now let me share some final pictures, and I'll also share a picture with a sign. Alright, I thank you for spending this time with me, and I'll be talking with you again real soon.